Okay, back again with another quick video on the Jaguar XJS V12, and we're looking at the injector wiring this time. This is a bit problematic because it's in the deep V of the engine. It gets very hot, and these connectors become very brittle and start breaking up, and the clips no longer hold them in place. And also at this junction here, the cap gets very hard. So I'm just using this is a little tool for dressmaking, I believe. Just splitting open the plastic here and removing this plastic boot, or it's like a weatherproof boot. Keeps the dust out of the junction, I suppose. Just splitting that open so I can peel it off and expose the wiring underneath, so I can then remove the connectors, the wire connectors from the plastic connector itself, and replace it with a new one. This is a fairly difficult process because the plastic is very hard, and there's also a fabric lining in the boot, and also a very stiff glue, which you'll see in a minute, which surrounds the wiring as it goes into the connector. That's a waterproofing agent, I suppose. Again, probably not needed. And this is what we're left with when we peel back that boot. It's very, very difficult to remove. And so finally just removing the last little bits of that and taking off the remainder of the boot to expose the two wires that go into the connector. And then we'll use a little spudger or a little electrical tool to push in to release the connectors inside the plastic connector itself. This special tool comes as a flat tool, but I bent it a little bit to provide an area that will push down onto the retaining clips on the clips inside the fitting, and you'll see in a minute how that works. So I just push this in. Takes a fair bit of effort to push it in there to release both together, and then I just use a pair of pliers just to pull back on the wiring at the back of the connector to release those. And just a little bit of a tug and they come out. And you'll see in a moment I've used a pair of small scissors. They have a sort of angular edge on the blade which gets in underneath the tab, which has been pushed down by that little tool that I used. So you can see here I'm just reinstating the angle on those little tabs so that when I push them back into the new connector they'll be held securely. So now they're ready to go into the new connector. It's important to make sure you put these in the right way so that they engage correctly with the pins on the fuel injector itself. So this is the new boot. I'll just slide that over. And it goes on fairly easily. I didn't use any lube on the cable sheath. I probably should have done that. This got a little difficult to push on, but it goes on okay. But a bit of lubricant on there would have made it a bit simpler. So now we're ready to fit the pins back into the new connector. Again, just making sure it's up the correct way. These connectors are the exact copy of the original, pretty much, with the correct dimensions and also the correct metal clip to hold it in place. So you'll hear a little snap as these go in. And then once they're in place, just a little retainer at the end there just clips over to hold the cables in place or the wires in place. And that also will just close with a snap. Then we just move the boot back over the end of the connector again, just to provide that dust seal and moisture seal. And there we have a nice pliable connector. It'll connect well to the injector. These are the bits now that I've purchased. These are the part numbers and where I bought them from. That's the new connector. And then the boot that covers it. The female clips or connectors, or terminals themselves, I didn't end up buying and didn't use, but these are the ones you will need if you want to go that way. Thanks for watching.